Augies Worldwide. I'm Dave Casler, amateur radio call sign KE0OG. Today's question comes from Will, N5OLA. Now, Will Everett is asking this question. He says he has a channel where he restores old Heath kits. That'd be quite interesting to see. So just look up Will Everett Heath kit, I think, in YouTube and see what you find. Have you done a show on raised radials for mast-mounted vertical antennas? No, I have not. I'm thinking about getting a Hustler 4BTV and putting it up about 12 feet. Can I just run radials, 2 per band, out at an angle to the ground? Or should I come down the mast with them and then spread them straight across the ground? The answer is the first one. You come out from the antenna. Now, let's look at something on here. Here's your antenna, your 4BTV here, okay? And it's on a mast, which will make purple, okay? And this is about 12 feet. This is whatever it is. Now your radials, since it's an elevated antenna, you should have 2 radials per band. Stretch that out opposite each other. So if you're going to operate on 40, 20, 15, and 10, that's 8 radials total. Now these should be cut according to the formula. The length, the half wave length, we want them to be a quarter wave. So 468 divided by the frequency in megahertz equals the 1/2 wavelength in feet. Okay, now we don't want a half wavelength, we want a quarter wavelength. So you take this and it's 234 over F equals 1/4 wavelength in feet. Okay, so if you have 40 meters, you're going to want one to come out here, and it's going to be on the order of 33 feet. And you'll have another one coming out, and it's also 33 feet. And then you're going to have one come out that's like 16, and so on. And they get progressively smaller. So for 15 meters, you'd be 7, about 20 feet. Oh no, wouldn't be that, about 10 feet, and so on. And you're going to have radials that look like this. Now, a lot of antennas for VHF, you will notice, put the radials down at an angle. That is because the feed point impedance of the vertical is on the order of 30 ohms. So right away, you've got a 1.6 to 1 SWR, just from that alone. Now, can you tune that out? Sure. So if you have these radials, especially the longer ones, down to ground, let's suppose you bring this down to the ground. Okay, first of all, it's going to interact with the ground. Now, by lowering it, we slightly raise the impedance right here. And we want to get it up to about 50. The 16s you can kind of bring down sort of in an angle, but what I would try to do is attach a little rope to this before the stake that goes in the ground, okay, to get it up off the ground a little bit. That way you can make this angle the same as this angle and so on. For these right here, you'd have to have pretty long pieces of rope. So you may just want to put in a little pole or piece of wood or a tree or something like that. But this is how you would build the vertical. So we're up in the air. Now, obviously, this, whatever it is, needs to be insulated from this. This is your ground point right here. And this is to which you'll connect the shield and your coax. Center of the coax goes to the radiant element, which is up there. Now, these also will radiate to some degree. Now, are you limited to only 2 radials per band? No, you can put in more, but you can see where it would get real complicated in a real big hurry. Now, you're also going to want to, probably with this thing up in the air, there will be in the instructions some sort of point where you're going to put guys in, okay, on that antenna, because unless you make the pedestal out of concrete, this is going to wiggle, that's going to wiggle, and you want to have the thing somewhat stabilized in the wind. So I hope that helps. So you can run those radials out at an angle toward the ground. On the 40-meter ones, it's kind of hard to avoid ground. On the others, put a little bit of rope there to kind of keep them up. Don't come down the mast and then out. That doesn't work, because the radials that come down the mast are capacitively coupled, and we want to get them out away so that they, in essence, these act as the ground plane. So, Will, I hope that was helpful. This is a standard. I don't think I've ever drawn this diagram on this channel before, but if you have your antenna up in the air, and like this one, you can do it that way. A lot of antennas, vertical antennas, will work very well right on the ground, and then you can just put radials about 25 feet long all the way around the thing. You can vary the length of the radials. But if you want to have the thing a little higher, for example, your backyard's in a little bit of a hole, you know, with buildings around it and so on, this would be a good thing to do. So, if you, now speaking to all the hams now, if you've enjoyed watching this far, why not join the channel and become a member? Now, there are a few membership grades, but they all entitle you to early releases of videos. We try to do the same for the patrons and the PayPal subscribers. So, until we next meet, 73.